Okay, so first things first. When you're doing standard deviation, you want to make sure that you find x bar. You're going to just grab your calculator. You're not going to faff about. You're just going to find x bar by adding them all up and dividing by how many there are. So I'm going to do 32 plus 23 plus 43 plus 40 plus 27 plus 35 plus 15 plus 25. And how many are there? Divide by 8. So I'm getting 1 mark for writing down x bar equals 30. If you did that, you'll get 1 mark for it, okay? Add them up, divide by how many there are, okay? Next thing, okay? Next thing, I'm going to go for my table. Okay, this column, x, this column here, x minus x bar, all squared, okay? The first column is just going to be every single one of those values, 32, 23, 43, 40, 27, 35, 15, and 25, okay? All right. The middle column, any guesses as to what you do there? The heading gives it away. You're going to do x minus x bar. So it has to be x take away x bar. So again, you're not going to faff about here. You're not going to put tons of working down. You're just going to go, just for this one, I'll write down that I'm going to do 32 take away 30. So I'll get 2. You don't need to write that for every single one. You just do it. Then I'm going to do 23 take away 30 to get -7. I'm going to do 43 take away 30 to get 13. 40 take away 30 is 10. 27 take away 30 is -3. 35 take away 30 is 5. 15 take away 30 is -15. And 25 take away 30 is -5. Don't get frightened by the negatives. You can have negatives in that column. Okay. What you should get frightened by is if you've got negatives in this last column here. See how I'm doing the top, the heading gives it away, x minus x bar. So see how I've got this here? That's what I'm doing, x take away x bar, every single time, okay? Last column, the heading gives it away again. What are you going to do? You're going to square every single one of those answers that you had in the middle, okay? Please, you will not have any negative numbers in this last column. Your calculator will lie to you. If you do just now -7 squared, it will tell you it's -49, okay? The calculator's not quite right with that. So bear in mind it's 2 squared is 4, -7 squared will be 49, 13 squared is 169, 10 squared is 100, -3 squared is 9, 5 squared is 25, -15 should be 225. I'm just going to double check. 225. And then -5 is 25. Okay. Anybody remember what to do after that? Okay. Well, this is why we're doing this just now, guys. Okay. We're going to do. I need the total of that last column. So you're going to grab the calculator again. No prizes for guessing what paper this is going to come in. Plus 169, plus 100, plus 9, plus 25, plus 225, plus 25. Can you double check, guys? Somebody double check that you get 606. That is what I'm getting. Please, somebody check that for me. I get 606. Please just check. Okay. Now, give you a wee second just to have a look. Okay. Anybody confirm it for me, 606? Yeah. Thanks, Jay. Right. Your next job is to go to your formula sheet, and you'll notice the standard deviation formula is the gigantic square root. Now, there are 2 of them on your formula sheet. You're going to ignore the one that's, well, there's not that one, okay? So you're going to use the one that is this. X minus x bar all squared divided by n minus 1. That's the one you're going to use. Don't go near the other one. It's Slightly different way of doing things. Okay. Thank you. All right. After that, easy street, easy peasy, because all you're doing is you're taking this value, the 606, and you're popping it like it's hot on the top there, okay? 606 is on the top. The N on the bottom there is how many numbers we're dealing with. You're dealing with 8, right? So you pop an 8 in there, and you're taking away 1, okay? And again, the calculator comes into play. You're going to do the division first. Don't square root it. Do 606 divided by 8, take away 1, 7. And that gives me 86.57. Find the square root of that. And I get 9.3. Okay. There we go. That there at the bottom is the standard deviation. We will need to talk about the 2 comments that you sometimes can make, but for just now, I'm happy if you guys, maybe you recognise that a wee bit. It's one of the biggies that you do back at the start of 3rd year, okay? As I say, I'm recording this so you can go back and watch it and see in the future, right? We'll talk about the comments. You know I'm doing a supported study after school today, guys, and I'll do another one just after Christmas as well, just to get us ready for the prelim, all right? The other classes are invited as well. It'll be a party. So 9.3, that's a standard deviation, okay? Right, anybody want to ask anything? You saw where everything came from. You're not going to forget what N is. A lot of people forget what N is. Number of numbers. Number of numbers, okay? Right, let's go for it. We need to move on to this thing. This is why I am recording this just now, right? I need you, unfortunately, I need you to take a bunch of notes here, okay? I need you to copy that down. It's called the discriminant. Oh, yeah. Copy that, please. Okay, so take a wee minute to copy that down, and then I'll talk through it. This is another good question, actually, that comes up every single year. And if you just memorise 3 wee things, 3 wee statements, it's an easy 2 marks for you. So it's pronounced the discriminant. Okay. You just copy this later, haven't you? Maybe you'll be able to watch it and copy it as well. Okay. And it's a mathematical name given to a section of the quadratic formula. You guys can see it there. And it allows us to determine, and I'm going to underline this. Okay. I'm going to go crazy and I'm going to highlight that as well. The nature of the roots. So in your prelim, when you see these words, this is what you're doing. You're doing a discriminant question. Okay. Now, some people get confused. They think it's the whole square root thing. It's not. It's only the bit underneath the square root. So all you're interested in is b squared minus 4ac. That there, that's the discriminant. You're not interested in the square root part, just b squared minus 4ac. Any ideas what you think nature of roots might be? We know what roots are. Normally they go across the x-axis where the parabola crosses. There's 3 different scenarios that can happen. show you them in a wee second. The discriminant just tells us about them. So we don't need to graph anything, we don't need to plot anything, we don't do any of that stuff. We just use the discriminant to tell us. Like it says there, we can use the discriminant to find out information about the function, about the roots. Okay. I'll shift this up. I need you, unfortunately, to copy these three situations. Okay, there we are. Okay, the three scenarios, three parabolas. Okay. This one's notes heavy, all right? There's a lot of notes. Important stuff as well. So you can see on the first one, there's two roots. It goes through the x-axis in two different places. In the second one, it turns on the x-axis, it touches only at one point. And then the last one, it's flying high in the sky, or it'll be way underneath. No roots. This all boils down to a tiny wee line of working, and then you remembering a statement. So a quick sketch of those three, and then very, very carefully copy each of these wee bits that are underneath. While you're at it, can anybody tell me, give me a number that's greater than 0?
1.
Yes, give me another number that's greater than 0.
2.
Yes, another number that's greater than 0.
7.
Any number. Can anybody kind of boil it down to it for me? Any number greater than 0 is what?
Positive.
That's the word you, thanks. Okay. Okay. So if your discriminant comes out as a positive number, you can say that it's got two real roots, okay? The middle one up there, if the discriminant comes out equal to 0, you're going to say that the roots are equal and real, okay? So positive answer, you're going to put a wee statement that says two real roots. Roots are real. If you get it coming out equal to 0, you're going to say that roots are equal and real. And then any guesses as to what the last one is? Anything less than 0 is exactly, yep. So any negative, if you get a negative answer coming out of the discriminant, it means that roots are not real. These wee statements here and here, these words, they're all worth a mark to you. You have to memorize them. Two real roots. Roots are equal and real, and then no real roots, or roots are non-real. If you prefer no real roots, that's fine. Okay. Like you see at the bottom there, the wee statement is essential. You need to learn them. In the grand scheme of things, it's worth 1 mark to you. So Prioritize, okay? And the last wee bit there is kind of an example. Since b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, there are, what does it say? There are 2 real roots, okay? So you'll see in a second, this just boils down to one line of working. A couple of lines. Okay. Today, when you're doing this, have your notes page handy, or I'll have that up on the screen, so that when you write the wee statement, you know exactly what to write. So that is just, this at the bottom there, guys, is just a wee example of one that you might write in the future. Since b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, there are 2 real roots. You might have the other situations happening, might come out equal to 0, and you say that roots are equal and real, okay? So it's like a magic wee formula, b squared minus 4ac, and it's going to tell you about the roots. Okay, we good? Give you a wee second. Okay. So I've got 2 examples to show you. Okay. It's a lot of work, or this is a lot of notes for 2 marks. Okay, right, here we go. So we'll do A and B here. And your clue for what type of question is it says the word nature of the roots, yeah? If you've got a good nature, if you're good natured, it's the type of person you are. We're looking for the nature of the roots, the type of roots that there are. Okay. So keep your eye out for that. First thing you're going to do, you're going to tell me what A, B, and C are. Hopefully you remember that from the quadratic formula stuff. Which one's A, which one's B, which one's C. A is 4. MD, B, 12 or negative 12. You always take the sign with it. Negative 12. And let's just shift to that a second. And C is 9. Okay. Pick them out, write them down. Then the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. That's negative 12 squared minus 4 times 4 times 9. Now, I'm not going to care what this number is, but I will care whether it's plus 0 or minus. 12 squared is 144. 4 times 4 times 9 comes out as 144. So I get a 0 coming out. All right. What did that mean? It meant that roots are equal and real. So you're going to say at the bottom of this, yeah, I just bumped them in the wee brackets. Sometimes you'll see me doing that. Normally do that in higher maths. The brackets beside each other mean times, okay? I'm talking about, obviously, that wee bit in there. If you see me writing that, it's multiply. Your wee statement at the bottom, it is there. Since b squared minus 4ac equals 0, roots are equal and real, okay? That's important. That's 2 marks for you, possibly 3. Okay. Since b squared minus 4ac equals 0, roots are equal and real. Right. It's okay to shift across. Let's have a quick go at that one, and then I'll finally be done. I'll upload this to the Teams page, guys, so if you're needing to go back and check anything, you can do so. Nathan?
I got a new job.
Sure. No negatives this time. But here we go again, the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. That's 1 squared minus 4 times 3 times 3. 1 minus 4 times 3 is 12, times 3 is 36. Negative 35. Now I don't care that it's negative 35. What I do care about is that it's negative. So I'm going to say there are no real roots, okay? Keep it simple, whatever makes sense to you wording wise. Because it's negative, there's no real roots. That wee statement, for some reason, is super important to the SQA. It's maths, eh? Who understands it? Okay. Hopefully that's not been too crazy for you. It'll be 2 or 3 marks. Okay. While I'm at it, I'll maybe just do the last one so you've seen it. No, I'm going to leave the last one. We'll do it as a starter, or next day, tomorrow. Okay. So there we go. Any questions? You all right, Peacock?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to skip past that one, but I need to come back to that. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Okay. And these are the ones that I want you to have a wee go at just now. Okay. Now we've not got a heck of a lot of time, but I need you to use the discriminant and tell me the nature of the roots. Are they 2 real roots? Does it have 2 equal roots? Or no real roots? Use your notes to help you for just now, okay? Tomorrow's the last thing on quadratics, and then we're revising.